It's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching from in this crazy world we're living in. So, in this video, we're going to talk about these two sisters, twins, well, more than twins, part of triplets that have gone missing in Aberdeen, down by the riverside. Still, as far as we know, we don't know. Oops, sorry, hang on. I'm just getting ready what I'm going to show you. As far as I know, we don't know anymore. I've been looking on the news because news can change, of course. But yeah, no further really information than from what we had yesterday, which is that these two sisters went out on, for some unknown reason, at 2 o'clock on a freezing cold morning over a week ago now, just over a week ago, and haven't been seen since. And we just don't know where they are. And it's getting curiouser and curiouser because, the more I think about this, the more you think, well, if they went in the river, they must have fallen in, because if they've either fallen in or been pushed in, because people who unalive themselves in rivers, etc., they do tend to leave their belongings on the side of the river. There was nothing, or nothing's been found anyway so far, unless the police aren't telling us that they found something. So, it's a mystery, isn't it? I mean, it really is a mystery for two people to go missing at once. Apart from that, they're sisters. Apart from that, they're twins, part of triplets. And now their third triplet. And I think it's not been clear in the media. I thought the third triplet was their brother, but it's actually another girl, Edith. And she has come out and said she had a premonition that something bad was going to happen. Quite often this happens, doesn't it? Not only with twins, triplets, even family members. Have you ever had a premonition? I certainly have, and quite often they have come true. So not always, though, to be honest. Sometimes I've had a dream about something and I've woken up and literally contacted the person that I've dreamt about and said, are you okay? Because I had this dream about you. Probably frightened them to death. And it hasn't always meant that something has happened, but quite often it has. I need to talk about that in another video. But yeah, I've had quite a lot of premonitions that have come true. And I'm not a twin, so or a triplet. So is this premonition that the triplet had something to be, we have to consider it? She's come out and said that. And some people don't believe in those kind of things, but I actually do. So yeah, so Henriette and Eliza, they set off for whatever unknown reason in Aberdeen. They set off from their house at around about 2 o'clock in the morning to walk down by the river on a freezing cold morning where there was ice on the ground. The river was partly iced over. I think this is the biggest mystery. Why did they even leave the house at that time? Whatever happened after that, were they going to meet someone? They looked, let's just have another look at we've looked at this quite a few times, the last CCTV that the police have released of the girls. Very purposeful strides. They're dressed up very warmly. They look very smart as well. That's something else. They're not, in trackies and tracksuit top. I mean, they're dressed up smartly, nicely, nice coat, scarf, their hair's done. Were they going to meet somebody? This is a real mystery, isn't it? For all intents and purposes, from what the family say when they spoke to them at Christmas, they were happy. They weren't, didn't seem concerned about anything. Yeah, very strange. Anyway, that's what we're going to look into. This is the thumbnail. That's a beautiful picture, I think, of those two ladies. Yeah, what were they so unhappy? Anyway, the police will be investigating, won't they, into their mental health. Another strange thing about this incident is the attention was brought by the landlord or landlady, I'm not sure which, of the place they were renting there, who called the police, maybe because these girls, they had severed their tenancy. They had contacted them and said they wanted to end the tenancy immediately, more or less. And then probably the landlord was trying to get in touch with them. I mean, we don't know the full details. Went actually to the flat, accessed the flat, and was disturbed by what they found in there. Now, we don't know what they found in there. Maybe they were disturbed because all their possessions were there, but they couldn't contact them. We don't know. We could see from that photo, that last CCTV photo, they don't have suitcases with them. This sister has got like a bag over her shoulder. She seems to be, talking quiet. She just looks like the more dominant of the two, but that means nothing. That's just an impression you get from one picture. The police have also said that they think they've got some audio CCTV, because some CCTV has audio as well, doesn't it? So they were trying to, or saying that they may be able to pick up what they were actually saying. So were they going off to meet somebody? Were they just deciding to go for a walk at 2 o'clock in the morning? I mean, there's no reason why not, really. At least there's not many people around. But, why to a place like that where it's so dark? It was pitch black. It was freezing cold. And then we've got all these different possible scenarios. The police are still convinced that they actually went into the river because they only have the CCTV of them going into the area. They don't have the CCTV of them coming out of the area. There's people are saying that screams were heard, but is that even connected? Was that one or both of them falling into the river, being pushed into the river? Was it one trying to save the other? This is literally a massive mystery that everybody, obviously, essentially the family who are in Hungary, so the family are miles away. I don't, God knows how they feel. Actually, that reminds me, I'm going to light a candle, not only for the girls, but for their family, because, as we keep saying, the thought of losing a family member or a family member being missing is bad enough, but you're in a foreign country miles away, in a different country, I should say. Obviously, Hungary's not a foreign country to them. That is their home country. Just awful, isn't it? And they will have a police liaison officer at least who will be, keeping them as up to date as they can. But, just awful, miles away. So, yeah, please light a candle, either figuratively or physically, for these girls and also for their family. So before we start to get into it properly, I'm going to say hello to everybody who's here in the chat. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe. Subscribe is free. If you want to see more videos like this, press the subscribe button. And also don't forget notifications. Gosh, I never put my banner on now. I keep forgetting to put my banner on. So yeah, and thank you to everyone who's subscribed already or liked any of my videos. And these videos about missing people, please remember to share them too, because it's important that the most people get to see these videos. And maybe somebody who doesn't watch the news, for example. I know I've got lots of subscribers on my channel who don't watch the mainstream news, and the only news they get is from YouTube or from Twitter, or X I should say, or whatever. So it's important to share, because you just never know who might just suddenly watch that video and think, oh yeah, I live in Aberdeen. Oh, I saw that, blah, 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 blah. So, it's important. It's a long shot, but it's important. Also, yeah, thank you to everyone who's liked my videos. Special thank you to my members. Tonight is Members Live. I think tonight we're going to talk a bit of politics. just for the hell of it, because of course I think it's tonight that Donald Trump's going to be sworn in. There's a lot to say about British politics. There's a lot to say about the ceasefire. Hopefully, if Israel don't renegade on it. There's a lot of things going on basically at the moment. So I think we might talk about that tonight. I haven't talked about politics for a while. I don't like to talk about politics on the normal channel because people get annoyed. But I know my members, they just will accept that we can have different opinions. You can have different opinions, without falling out about it. You can have different opinions. You can have different leanings. It's just, Anyway, so we're going to be doing that on members tonight. Also, I want to thank anyone who's PayPal'd me, anyone who sent me a super sticker, anyone who sent me a nice message, bought me a Ko-fi, etc. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. So I'm going to now say hello to everyone. Oh, and I want to say hello to the lurkers. My fellow lurkers watching at home, don't like to join the chat, that's fine. But maybe one day you'll feel confident enough to join the chat. And also I want to say hello to Replay Crew. So now a lot of people do like to chat. And here are the people that are chatting. We've got My Angel Alfie. Hi. You were first this morning, Angel. Hi, Blank Faces. Hi, Laurie. Oh, you like this outfit? Well, do you know what? I bought this actually this morning. I've been peopling today. I've been out. Look at the look. It's got a lovely warm interior. I've been peopling. I went to the shopping centre. Really, what I wanted to buy was a velvet jacket. I want a velvet jacket desperately. I want a black velvet box jacket. I know exactly what I want. I saw one on the internet. It was 150 euros. I was like, what? So no, I don't want to pay 150 euros. So I went off to Primani and these kind of places in the shopping centre. Anyway, I can't find one. Not black anyway. I did find one, but it was purple. I don't think that's my colour. Anyway, so I went out for a velvet jacket and I ended up with a lumberjack. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. If any of you know that, that's a joke. That's from was it Monty Python? I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Anyway, well, it might not have been Monty Python. It was the one after Monty Python that I can't remember what they were. What was it called? Anyway, yes, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. But it's so warm. It's like a jacket come shirt come, but it's got the lovely lining. So I'm really pleased with it, to be honest. As I said, I did really want a velvet jacket, but anyway, I've ended up with a lumberjack jacket. But I do really like it. Hi, Junior. I know it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. Yes, Angel, they say that twins, or certainly some twins, do have a strong link, don't they? Hi, David. Laurie's had premonitions and sometimes it's come true. Yeah. Hi, Mike. I think what people really cannot understand, to me, it's the fundamental thing is why were they even there in the first place? I think once the police realise or find out why they were actually even walking that path at 2:00 in the morning, it's either literally, unless they were just going for a walk. Oh, so going back to what I was saying this morning, I was thinking about them because, oh my God, yeah, I went peopling. I went out into the public. I went to the shopping centre. I've got angry at about 10 different people. The less you go out into shopping centres and things like that, the more irritating it is when you do. Just people are so irritating, aren't they? And they're not really. They're just acting normally. It's just I've got, because normally I'll order things online now. A lot of us do since COVID, really, wasn't it? We've got used to ordering things online and not having to go wandering around shops looking for things. And then I went in the supermarket. Oh, God, and people were just, I don't know, why are people so oblivious to other people around them? So it's like, I don't know about you, but you're wandering around the supermarket, you're aware of you know, how close you're going to people, if you're getting in people's way. But some people are just oblivious to that. They're just in their own little world. They suddenly stop in front of you. They don't even look to see who's behind them. They just suddenly stop and you go crashing into the back of them. And then they look at you that you've done something wrong. Or they crowd around things, loads of them, so nobody can see. So they're around the cheese or whatever. And there's like 5 of them. So you can't get in to get the cheese. You know, those kind of things. And then on the roads, the roads. Oh my God. And I don't know if I don't think it's just because here, obviously, there's a lot of people maybe on holiday in Spain or whatever, and they don't really understand. They're often on the wrong side of the road or whatever. But there was loads of people around. Where are all these people coming from? I think because it's cold, maybe. Because here in Spain, if you want to get warm, you have to get out of the house. It's like the opposite of because your house is cold. You generally haven't got central heating. So your house is freezing cold. So you want to get out into the sun, because although it's cold out there, if you're in the car and the sun's coming in through the window, it does feel quite warm. So I think everyone's coming out for a warm today. I don't know, because it was -1 degrees this morning. Anyway, so, you know, the drivers were all annoying, everyone in the... So I was thinking about those 2 women. I was thinking, oh my God, if you thought you would be safe, that's the best time to go out walking. When there's not many people around. But anyway, it's just something that occurred to me. Of course, I wouldn't go out walking at 2 o'clock in the morning, not on my own anyway. I mean, I have done, maybe in the summer, because it's different here in the summer. There's still people around. But do you know what I'm saying? Just all those people that I saw today, I thought, oh my God, this is awful. So I couldn't wait to get home with my lumberjack jacket. Anyway, sorry, I've got, as usual, gone off on a tangent. Hi, Julie. Yeah, the ones that stand and stare at shelves for ages, and you're stood behind them where you think, oh, they'll be finished in a minute, and they're still there. And then in the end, I just push past them and get the thing out. But yeah, it's annoying. Yeah. It was much better. It was much better in COVID. You had to keep a meter distance. I could go out with one of those crinoline dresses on, you know, with the big circle around it, so people couldn't come near me. Oh dear. Oh, Laurie, that sounds really nice. A black pinstripe short velvet jacket with a beautiful cut for out the second-hand shop. Yeah. Sometimes you're better off in charity shops, aren't you? Charity shops are brilliant, aren't they? Hey, David, there was something after Monty Python. I'm trying to think where it was. There was... Oh, anyway, never mind. Okay, so let's first of all, somebody sent me this video. We've seen part of this video, but we haven't seen the whole video. This is what we're going to look at first. And this is really quite sad, because this is an interview by, I think it's the Scottish Mirror, or it's a Scottish paper anyway, and Scottish Sun maybe. And they interview some twins who have gone to the scene where the women disappeared with flowers. I think that's a bit premature, because we don't know for sure yet that they're not okay. They could be okay somewhere. They could have been kidnapped. They could have run off somewhere. You know, we don't know for certain that they've gone in the river, even though that's what the police think. But it just seems strange to me that they've not found anything. You know, not only, you know, I know it's not easy to find bodies sometimes in the river. We've seen that so many times. But none of their possessions either. So it just seems odd to me. But let's have a look at this video. I'm going to find... You know what it's like? I get it ready and then right, it's the Sun. It's the Scottish Sun. Why is it asking me get YouTube without the ads? I've already got Prime YouTube, as far as I know. But anyway, never mind. It's obviously, for some reason, maybe I'm on the wrong. Am I on the wrong thing? Anyway. Nope. That's the wrong one. Oh, it's all going wrong. Hang on. I have got YouTube Premium, so I don't know why it's asking me that. Anyway, never mind.
CCTV captured them walking. Mystery of what's happened to missing twins, Eliza and Henriette Huszti. They were last seen in this area in Aberdeen at about 2 a.m. on Tuesday, the 7th of January. A massive police, land, sea and air search operation has failed to find any trace of the sisters. The search continues, as does the quest for answers in what has become an incredibly baffling case. CCTV captured them walking across that bridge behind me as they then headed down a footpath towards the icy River Dee. After that, no one knows where they went or what happened to them. It's emerged that they told their landlady days before that they wanted to give up their flat in the city centre, but police have been unable to find any evidence they intended to harm themselves or even what.
So this is where they're apparently supposed to have walked along. I mean, why would you walk along there? It's not even a proper path, is it? Now, the ice has melted now. So now this is something that did occur to me, though. If they were walking along there and they slipped in, how deep is it? You know, it's not like if they slipped in there by accident, which, you know, it seems quite easy that they could do, but how deep is it here? You know, I was thinking there'd be a drop down into the river, you know, actually falling into the river, but to slip, you know, would they then not be able to get out again? Or maybe not. Or maybe they were pushed in, or maybe there was a struggle. So this is it. Something's happened to these women probably on this path. And there's only a few possibilities, isn't there? There's a possibility that they may have voluntarily gone into the water to unalive themselves. There's a possibility that one of them slipped in and the other one tried to help her. There's a possibility that they both slipped in. There's even a possibility that one pushed the other in, you know, and then went in themselves, you know, if they had unaliving themselves in mind, or the possibility that they both unalive themselves. Another possibility is somebody, you know, attacked them, and that's how they ended up in the river. Maybe they've taken their bag. So I did notice that on that video, it reminded me of let's have a look. Not the video, sorry, the last CCTV footage. See how the girl on the right has got her bag over her shoulder. Now, it's quite a big bag that she's got. And now we have found out, of course, that they had one mobile phone with them, but the other mobile phone, I don't know whose phone they had with them, but they had one mobile phone with them. The police have said this. How they know? Well, there must be some sort of data pings or whatever going up to the water. They had one mobile phone with them, and the other mobile phone, maybe from the other lady, because she doesn't seem to have a bag, does she, the other woman, was left at home. So they've got that phone, so they'll be checking into that. But what I noticed was she's got this bag over her shoulder. Now, we all carry our bags like that here in Spain because there's a lot of bag snatching. I've had my bag snatched once years ago. And so you wear your bag over your shoulder like that. You keep your hand on your bag because it's just rife in certain areas, in the tourist areas. in the shopping centre, in the supermarkets, because these are professional gangs that go around and steal bags. Now, she's got her bag over her shoulder like that. Which is that because of that area? There's bag snatchings maybe that go on. But then would she even, if she was going to unalive herself, would she even care if her bag got snatched? You know, it just makes you think. Or is she going to meet somebody to give them something or to get something off somebody? But she's the one with the big bag. The other one doesn't seem to have any bag whatsoever. And what was it in that bag? And where is it? Now, it could be that the reason they could have been attacked because of the bag. You know, if they're going down by the river and people say, some people from that area say there's often homeless people hanging around and stuff, maybe somebody tried to steal the bag off them. But it still doesn't detract from the fact. Why were they even there in the first place? But just something that I noticed, because if you walk around Spain, the area of Spain, tourist areas, etc., anyone who lives here who knows about all the bag snatching will carry their bag exactly like that. So it can't be just, you know, whisked off their shoulder. So just something that occurred to me. But yeah, I think these banks look slow. You know, it looks shallow, doesn't it? I thought it'd be, when I first heard about it, I was thinking, oh, they've fallen into the river, but it's not a steep drop into the river. It's a gradual slope. So unless it's different round the corner or whatever, but you just think how, all right, you could slip into the water and you might fall down and it wouldn't be nice, but would you get swept away unless somebody was attacking you? You know? Anyway, let's have a look at the rest of the video.
To leave the city. But what they've not been able to work out is why on earth the girls were here at that time. It's very busy just now. But 2 o'clock in the morning.
Sorry, I don't know why you're getting adverts, because why are you getting adverts? I think I can skip it. So I have got, am I on the wrong, maybe I'm on the
really
wrong.
Quiet and obviously very dark. Is this where Eliza and Henriette ended up that night? Police say they're working on a strong theory that the girls might have gone into the River Dee. They're captured on CCTV. They walk towards the water. They're never seen again. There were noises that night that were picked up by the CCTV that could be screams. It could be a woman screaming out in the night. Police are unable to be 100% certain that the noise is the girls or that it's even connected to them. They are working on one theory that they might have somehow managed to get out of here without showing up on camera again. Is that even possible? That's something that they're looking at. But what is certain is that in the week since they were last seen, their mobile phones have not been used and there has been zero traffic.
Hi, Claire. So, Claire, it was Claire. Anyway. So Claire's saying that the other lady has a bag, but a small one. Let's just have another look. I can't see it very well, but let's have a look. Has she got a bag here then in her hand? Anyway, maybe. I can't see it, but my eyesight's not brilliant. But so if you fit, I need to blow that up. I'll blow it up for the next time, and if we haven't found out what's happened to them. But she hasn't got a bag like this anyway. But yeah, maybe she's got a small clutch bag. See, to me there, it looks like she's got a hand in her pocket, but I could be imagining that. I don't know. It's not that clear, is it?
Transactions on their bank account. Eliza has not turned up for work as a hotel cleaner in Aberdeen, and Henriette has not clocked on at the coffee shop where she works in a shopping centre in Aberdeen. Their family over in Hungary are anxiously waiting for updates.
Oh, hang on.
And police are saying that if you know anything, if you've seen them that night, or if even you've been in contact with them since that night, please let them know. Everyone is desperate to bring this.
See this river? Do you see what I'm saying? It's not like where they say that Nicola Bulley fell into the river, and they were, even though where it happened with Nicola Bulley, it was a sloping bank, but for her to fall into the river, she would have had to be standing right on the edge. But there was an edge at least, but there's not an edge there, is there? So it's strange, isn't it?
It's mystery to an end, and to get some answers. And why you came here at the River Dee today?
Oh, now these two ladies that he interviews, these are their twins as well, as you can see. I found this very sad because, you know, it never occurred to me that I suppose there's advantages to being twins, of course. You know, it's nice to have someone that you're always close to, especially if you're identical twins like these two are. It's not, you know, because there are twins that are not identical, etc. Not all twins are so close, of course, but yeah, do people treat you differently because you are twins? Do they just think, if you listen to what these ladies are saying, they've come to pay their respects to the Eliza and Henriette, even though we don't actually know what's happened to them yet. But it seems to have resonated with them because, you know, they've, you know, had problems being twins, if you like. Do people treat you as if you're weird if you're a twin, especially if you are an identical twin? I was trying to think if I actually know any twins, and I don't think I do. Well, I do. I've got two nephews actually that are twins, but they're not identical twins. I'm trying to think if I know anybody else who's a twin. So yeah, you know, do you think people do look on people differently because they're twins or triplets?
Just thought straight away when I heard what happened. Well, I don't know if they've gone into the water, but if they have, they've obviously been bullied, because I've been bullied most of my life.
And so that you're here to pay tribute to the twin sisters.
I just feel so sorry for them.
Did you feel that it strike a chord with you as soon as you seen it on the news?
I've actually taken an overdose myself.
Jeez.
Both quite small, quite easy to pick on and get marginalised.
But it was important for you to be here today to lay flowers and remember them.
Yeah, she's saying like you get marginalised if you're a twin, and it never sort of occurred to me before, but I can understand that. You know what kids are like. So when you're at school and if you're a twin, you're going to get teased for being a twin, aren't you? You know, it's like kids will tease you for anything. You know, they could tease you because you've got a big nose, you've got big ears, you're overweight, you're underweight. You're ginger, you got freckles, kids are not very nice, are they? You know, once they're nice when they're little, and then they get to a certain age where a lot of them can be right little twonks, can't they? They're really horrible bullying twonks. And there's not many people don't get bullied at school for one reason or another, and it's how you deal with it, isn't it? But the thing is, if you're a twin, you can't, you're a twin, aren't you? It's like there are some things you can't change. Maybe if you're overweight, you can lose weight, but you cannot change being a twin. Same as the colour of your skin. You might get teased for being black, or if you're at a school with mainly black people, you might get teased for being white, or being a Muslim, or being a this, or being a that. We had a boy at our school who his dad was rich. He had I won't name him because it's not fair, but his dad had a very famous meat company, and his dad decided to send his son to a normal school, a comprehensive school, so that he would, grow up normally rather than grow up privileged. He could have sent him to any private school. He was a millionaire, multi-millionaire. But of course that word got around the school. My school was a comprehensive school. And people teased him mercilessly. This poor boy, his dad should have sent him to a private school, really, because he was there at a comprehensive school. He was singled out for having a rich father. Nobody else had a rich father at our school. It was like everybody was poor, mainly council estate people on the in this school, a normal comprehensive school in Manchester. And this poor guy, they teased him terrible. I often think about him, actually, because he's probably having the last laugh now. He'd be rich now. Maybe his father's died and left him all his millions. But he still suffered. So what I'm trying to say is everyone suffers at school for something, don't they, for teasing. And these poor women, they're saying that they were marginalised because they were twins. It's quite sad, isn't it? Why do people have to bully people for anything?
I just feel sorry for the family that are in Hungary, because they don't know what's happened to them, and my heart goes out to all the family in Hungary. The little triplet as well. Yeah, I'm thinking about the little triplet, because they're triplets.
And you came here. How did you get here today?
We just got a bus.
And it took you about an hour and a half each way?
About an hour and 37 minutes.
But you were saying that you've not slept since you heard about it?
I haven't slept at all, because I find that, they must have been in agony and pain. Something obviously happened to them to hurt them so much. And they probably, I don't know, I've had to move out of a lot of flats and houses. I'm happy now in Keith that I've had to move out of a lot of flats in Glasgow, because we got picked on because we're twins. And I've had to move away a lot of times. It's cost me a lot of money as well, moving all the time. And you get marginalised when you're twin. And people seem to be extra strong. Like, if something happens, they're going to turn a bricks on top of you. And I just feel so sorry for them. They're so kind girls. You can tell they're kind girls.
And you think as well, you were saying that twins would keep things to themselves?
Yeah. If something has happened, then twins keep things to themselves. They wouldn't actually share it with anybody. Even the family. Even the family. Even if they say it's a close-knit family, it's quite embarrassing being bullied. Because you kind of think you get bullied at primary school, but adults can get bullied as well.
Yeah, I really felt for these poor women. And it's interesting what they say, that twins keep things to themselves, because what the family are saying now is they had no idea that the girls were going to hand in their tenancy notice. Even though they spoke to them at Christmas, which wasn't that long before and New Year, where it wasn't that long before the girls went missing. They never mentioned that they were moving. They seemed happy. They seemed upbeat. They're both working. They didn't seem to have any money problems. I would say they didn't. Well, it doesn't mean to say they didn't have money problems. They looked very smartly dressed, didn't they? They weren't like down and out or whatever. They had those nice clothes on, nice coats, both of them, nice thick coat. They weren't in. They looked a lot more smartly dressed than me when I go out. But I don't mean if I go out for a night out, but if I was just, where were they going? Were they going for a drink somewhere? Were they going for a night out? It seemed very, if they were actually going to unalive themselves, which maybe they were, we don't know. They just seemed very well dressed for that. I don't know. Would you even care what you were wearing? Yeah, maybe they were going to meet somebody. Maybe they were going to a party. It seems a strange thing at that time in the morning, but do you know what? It's not impossible. But anyway, I think it's interesting what these ladies say, because at the end of the day, they've got an insight into what it's like to be a twin. And to be a twin, she was saying twins keep things to themselves. And so they'd not told their family that they were moving out of their accommodation. Their family have said they knew nothing about that. So even the other triplet, and they have a brother as well, and their parents in Hungary, they had not said anything about moving. So maybe they did have a lot that they kept to themselves, but I'm sure the police will be sort of investigating into all that.
And I think the kinder you are, the worse it is. Because I can tell those girls are kind, very kind souls, really very kind. I know I didn't know them, but I can tell by their eyes, they're kind, and they probably did a lot of things together. And
they probably just minded their own business. I mean, they probably just like went to work, worked hard, and got home and like.
Cuando se denuncia un caso de abuso sexual hacia un niño o una niña, se inicia un proceso
I've
judicial
no
largo y
idea why the
doloroso para la
adverts are
víctima.
coming on.
En España,
Maybe
el sistema
by,
judicial añade
Just go on with their
by
lives, but then
people
people
out,
tend
but-
to.
I know. I mean, a lot of people aren't going out these days, and then they say they just stay inside all the time, and they probably didn't have much money, because private vents they're renting, and private vents are extortionate, so they probably didn't have much money to socialise anyway. A lot of people just stay in these days and watch box sets, but then when you're twins, people just think you're
Because if they're weird.
they're weird.
Okay.
A lot of people stay in these days.
Yeah.
A lot of pubs and that are closing and everything because people aren't going out. It's not just twins. I mean, I'm sure.
No, it's true. It's not just twins that stay in and watch box sets, isn't it? I think after people got used to staying in, didn't they, during COVID, when they couldn't go out? People got used to not going out. People socialise on internet now like we do in a way, don't we? Our community. You know, when it was New Year, we didn't have to go out. We all socialised on here. We didn't have to go out at Christmas. I'm quite happy not to go out because you can socialise on social media and it costs less and you don't have to worry about twonks out there, you know, drunk and it definitely has changed and people do stay in watch box sets, etc. We've just finished watching Squid Game. The second series was really good. I would definitely recommend that to people. On Netflix, you know, there's always something to watch on Netflix, isn't there? Or there's always something to watch on YouTube, or they're the only two really that I watch, but there's loads of others, of course, as well. So yeah, people don't go out so much. I think that's why it seems even stranger that they were out at 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, when I was sort of 20 or something, it wouldn't have been unusual, even in the winter. Even in January, I've been out when it's been freezing cold, snow on the ground, still gone out on a Tuesday night, or, you know, it wouldn't have mattered. Now, of course, these girls, they don't have children. They don't have any responsibilities. They don't have pets. So, you know, of course, your children and your pets make you stay in. You know, you've got your children. Obviously, you can't leave your children while you go out. But with your pets, when it's New Year and times like that, you can't leave your pets because of all the fireworks and stuff. Now, the two Hungarian girls, Eliza and Henriette, they didn't have pets. They didn't have children. I don't think they'd be struggling for money because they were both working. They were sharing a rent. Apparently, they were saving up to buy somewhere, according to their family. So and as I said, the clothes they're wearing, they look nice. The coats look nice. The jacket looked nice that they're wearing. But of course, you can't presume that. Maybe they had terrible money problems. For all I know, you can never tell by the surface. Sometimes people who don't look like they've got any money have got loads of money. I met Peter Stringfellow years ago when I worked in a pub, the Trafalgar, next to Lewis's in Manchester. And I used to work at Lewis's on the Saturday in the day and then go straight to work afterwards in the pub next door. And Peter Stringfellow, honestly, God, looked like a little tramp sat at the end of the bar. I wouldn't have known who he was or that he had money because he owned the Millionaire Club, which was right next door. And it's just that somebody told me, my boss, Seamus, said to me, "Oh, that's Peter Stringfellow. Do you know who he is?" And I'm like, no. You know, I was only about 18, 19. To me, it just looked like a little tramp sat in the corner. So you can't always tell if people have got money. Sometimes people look like they've got money and actually they haven't, or they look like they haven't got any and they have. But, you know, I think, yeah, it's not unusual for people to stay in these days. It's probably more unusual for them to go out. Even young people, you know, my son's just started he went through the phase of going out, then he went through a phase of staying in. Now he's in a going out phase again. But I don't think it's, you know, when I was young, you had to go out. You had no choice. You couldn't socialise any other way. So if you didn't go out, you didn't see anyone, you know, any of your friends. Nowadays, you don't have to go out to socialise, do you? You can socialise on the internet.
And they did go out.
Yeah.
They probably went to the library and stuff.
Yeah.
They probably like reading, for instance.
Reading books.
But your thoughts are with them, and you wanted to come here today
Yeah.
just to...
My thoughts are with the family in Hungary.
I bet they've been bullied.
And I just thought, I've had such a hard time. And I just want to find something's happened and they kept it themselves.
David, why are we here today on the banks of the River Dee?
We're looking for information in relation to the disappearance of sisters Eliza and Henriette Huszti, missing from their home address in Aberdeen since the early hours of Tuesday, the 7th of January. We know that the sisters left the vicinity of their home address just at the back of 2 in the morning. They seem to have taken a fairly direct route on foot to this point, or very close to this point. We're standing just now, and they've entered a footpath on the far side of the river, and despite our inquiries to this date, we haven't been able to evidence them leaving that area. There's significant concern
Now, we did watch this the other day, but we'll just watch it to the end again.
For their well-being. Because of those circumstances, the disappearance seems completely out of character, and a significant police inquiry is ongoing to try and work out what's happened and why.
And what I think one of your theories is that they've potentially gone into the water.
I think because of the CCTV timeline that I've described there, we know that they walked here, and we don't have evidence of them walking away from the vicinity of the river. So one of our strong theories has to be that for unknown reason they've entered the water here, and that's why so much of the search activity you'll see is based in and around the river and the harbour area. And having said that, we're not ruling anything out. So there are a number of parallel inquiries ongoing in and around the area to try and establish whether they've left on foot by means that is currently unidentified by us. We're not ruling anything out. We're keeping an open mind. But yes, one of our theories is that they've entered the water.
Why would someone go into the water when it's -2 outside?
We don't know. It's the truth. We're trying to understand a little bit of context around about the sisters' lives in Aberdeen.
I do love the Scottish accent. He's like, he's been a mud that, it's like, I love the Scottish accent. Honest to God, I really, really do love it. Do you know, I had a boyfriend who was Scottish, and we went to, I've been to Scotland a couple of times with him, and I'm trying to think, where was that place that we went to? And when he went to the loo, he said to me, "Don't open your mouth." God, where was it? It was Dumbarton, I think. We went somewhere, we went to, gosh, he took me to posh places and not so posh places. I quite like the rough places. I come from a council estate. I like the rougher places. I think they're full of characters and what have you. And, I've been in the Nile Club in Moss Side in Manchester. I've been to places, the Auto Club in Manchester, where you had to knock on the door and they opened just opened the thing and peeked out to decide if they let you in. I've always enjoyed going to those places. I don't actually like posh places that much. Anyway, we're in Dumbarton. I'm not saying Dumbarton's not posh. I have no idea. But he seemed to think that I shouldn't open my mouth there because I've got an English accent. But of course I did, because I can't not talk to people, because that's just the way I am. And everyone was lovely, really friendly, and when he came back, I'm sat talking to about 4 people. And he's like, "Oh my God, I just can't stop talking to people." And when we went to Edinburgh, I got talking to these 2 women at the bus stop. I mean, they were obviously alcoholics or drug addicts or something, but I don't know what, it must be something about me, because we stood at the bus stop. We were waiting for a bus or something. And these 2 women were sat there with their Buckfast Abbey or whatever they were drinking. They were drinking something. And they started talking to me, and I was talking, and this woman who wasn't that old, probably only in her 30s, but she looked about 70. That's how drugs can get you, isn't it? She had no teeth, bless her. And she started telling me about her kids, how she'd lost her kids and they'd been taken into care, and all she wanted was to get them back, and she was working on it. And And my partner at the time, David, actually he's like, don't talk to them. And I said, well, why not? You know, I honestly really felt, because you know what, no matter what someone's going through, maybe they were drug addicts, maybe they were alcoholics, these two women, but they're still people, you know, and everyone's got a story. Everyone's got a story. And, you know, I really felt for this woman. This is 10 years ago, so she may not even be alive now, because she didn't look, as I say, she didn't look too clever then. But do you know what? But for the grace of God, any of us could be there.
About events that may have preceded this, that might give an understanding as to why they were here. But at the moment, we don't have anything that provides a clear explanation of that. What we do know is that for them to be out at that time in the morning, and for them to be in this area of Torry at that time in the morning, seems to be completely out of character.
And I think you're looking into where they lived, and I think they told the landlord they were planning on leaving their tenancy.
Yeah, we had an indication they were going to leave their tenancy, with no specific timescale around about that. And we've carried out a number of inquiries at their home address, including the recovery of personal effects, to try and understand a little bit more about what was going on in their lives at that time, what plans they may have had for the future, and just to try and paint a picture that might give some more context as to how we've ended up here.
And were they making plans for the future?
We don't have any clear indication of, certainly we don't have any clear indication of an intent to leave Aberdeen, or a clear intent to do themselves harm, or to come and enter the river for any reason that might be linked to that. What we do have is a picture of sisters who came to Aberdeen about 6 years ago. They seem to be settled, both in terms of their group of friends, in terms of their associates and their employment. And this is completely out of context. We're in regular contact with their family in Hungary, and the sisters were in contact with them in and around the New Year period, at which time they were described as being happy and in pretty good spirits. So we don't know, we don't really have a clear understanding as to why this has happened, but we are working really hard to try and put further context around it.
And they left, I understand, they left a mobile phone at home, is that right?
We know that they had a mobile phone with them at the place last seen, and we know from inquiries at the home address that there's at least one mobile phone left within. And we'll do what we can to work out if that device is of relevance to our inquiry, but there are limitations around what we can do with that.
And you've looked into bank activity, and there's been no bank activity since last week.
We've no reason to think that they have carried out any financial transactions or been in contact with any persons known to us since the place last seen.
So the one theory could be that they've done themselves harm. Another could be that it's a tragic accident. I suppose, will we ever know?
We'll do our best to find out. I think is what I would say about that. We owe the family the most diligent of police.
They do ask staff questions. Will we ever know? How does this policeman know if we'll ever know? He's doing his best, but he doesn't know if we'll ever know or not. They just ask. Sometimes journalists do ask stupid questions, but anyway, that's what their job is, to ask questions.
These inquiries, because they rightly expect us to find out what's happened, and we'll continue doing that. So, there are a number of theories, and we'll work hard to try and give as certain an answer to the family as regards what's happened as possible.
So there you go. That's what we know so far. So we're going to go and look at this newspaper article and the Scottish. Oh, no. I've got to look into that YouTube thing. I don't know why I keep getting adverts, because anyway, maybe my thing ran out and I haven't noticed it hasn't gone out the bank or whatever. So where am I? So we're going to look now at no, not that. That's something else. There we are. So we're looking at this article in the Scottish Daily Express, where apparently, according to them, the other triplet, the third triplet, had a premonition about her missing sisters before they vanished in Aberdeen. So Police Scotland have ruled out a report in Hungary that Eliza and Henriette were out on the town before they disappeared. Yeah, were they out on the, yeah, we remember that right at the beginning of this case. That's what people were saying, that they'd been out in the town centre, but now the police are saying no, that they left home. They went from home to the riverbank. They hadn't been out. Anyway, friends of their sister Edith say she knew something bad had happened. So don't forget, these are reports from Hungary, and these will be friends of the family. These are not literally come from the police or the family. So police have dismissed lurid claims about the final known hours that two Hungarian sisters who disappeared in Scotland more than a week ago. According to media reports back in their homeland, Eliza and Henriette Huszti had been partying with a group of males before they vanished in Aberdeen. Oh my God, that's the first time I've heard that. Partying, but didn't people say that they didn't drink and they didn't take drugs? Oh my God, this case just gets more and more mysterious. However, that was completely ruled out by investigators who said they had accurately and conclusively traced the pair, two of triplets, from their home to the place where they were last seen. Well, I would believe the police there. They've got one of the phones anyway that they've been tracking. They say they've traced them from their home to the place they were last seen. But it does make you wonder, why did the landlord feel that when they entered the flat there were things in there that made them concerned? Had they had people there? Had they been partying? Their family and friends say they didn't drink or take drugs. Gosh. Anyway, their rebuttal came after Hungarian news outlet Blick I'm going to look into that, quoted one woman in Aberdeen who said she knew the 32-year-olds. Given her name only as Anna, she said, "We know that the two girls were having fun with a friend of theirs and a group of men. And then when they were heading home..." Oh, anyway, police sources, and I'm going with the police here. The police sources, because you know what social media is like. You'll get all these idiots now jumping on and saying, "No, this, that, and the other, and this happened." Next thing they'll be saying they were transported up onto the Starship Enterprise and they were seen. It does make you a bit angry, doesn't it? Because you can only take the official narrative as... you can only take that. The police know the full circumstances. You've only got to look on social media about any case that gets covered, be it Nicola Bulley, the Jay Slater, recently with John George or whatever. Unfortunately, you do always get people that will say any old thing just to get a click or just to get, just to make a video. It's like, the thing is, people want to know about things. I'm a YouTuber and I do go on TikTok now a little bit. I don't understand TikTok. I just put clips of my videos on there and people seem to like it, but I don't really understand how TikTok works. But, you're doing it, but you've got to have some principles. People want information, but you can only give them the information. You can say things and say, "Oh, but this has not been proven." But I've noticed that a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers, they will literally go on and say something as if it's true. They won't even say, "Oh, well, this is being rumoured," or this is something that's... So there was a thing recently, I don't know if you saw it, about the John George case, about the the young girl that's sort of involved in it, that she'd been sort of set on fire, shot and set on fire in a camper van in over the other side of Spain. The thing is, people will jump on anything. It's ridiculous. So this is, and it only causes distress to the family. Probably a lot of it causes distress to the family. Maybe even the videos I make cause distress to the family. I'm just making a video trying to stick to the facts. worrying about these girls, genuinely concerned. And I think all my chatters, certainly the vast majority of my chatterati, 99% are genuinely concerned. What has happened to these girls? You know, this is the way of the world now. People sort of see cases, they want to talk about them. There's various reasons why people want to talk about true crime on social media. And I was thinking about it this morning. I think a lot of it, you know, is just human curiosity. You know, we are curious. We've always been curious. Human beings have always been curious. There's always been interest in crime, you know, from the Jack the Ripper days. You know, we didn't have social media then, but there used to be all these magazines would come out and things. People are interested in true crime. That's just the way it is. You can criticize it, but quite often I get people on my videos criticizing it, but they're still watching the videos. So, you know, come on, why are you even watching the video if you don't like people talking about these things? It's human nature, but you have to show some respect and you have to be restrained, you know, not just spread wild theories. Anyway, so police sources said it was absolutely untrue, and they both know the women, and they know that both women left their home in the city early on the morning of Tuesday. Now, they may have been going to meet someone, of course. I don't know. We don't know that. And the last sighting of the pair was captured by CCTV as they walked down Market Street near Victoria Bridge at 2:12 a.m. Oh. Here's the third triplet. Because that's the first time I think it's the first time I've seen a picture of the third triplet. She looks younger, doesn't she? She doesn't, like the other two, look more alike. But anyway, so it's then believed they entered a steep and icy footpath around 500 meters long and surrounded by razor wire. Oh dear, which runs down to the banks of the River Dee, the waterways where the search for the women is now being concentrated, as there is not any CCTV evidence of either of them returning from there. So the news comes as the third triplet, Edith, revealed that she had a premonition of something bad happening to her siblings. And according to a family friend, she spoke to Eliza and Henriette on New Year's Eve in a video call. But afterwards, she had some kind of bad feeling, even then, but couldn't explain what it was. It's been revealed that, where am I? In the days leading up to their disappearance, the Huszti sisters had told their landlady, or it's landlady in Aberdeen, they would be leaving their flat. The missing women's brother, Joseph, speaking from the family home in the Hungarian capital Budapest, told BBC Scotland of his surprise at this news. He said, "We don't understand this whole thing." They wrote a message to their landlady that they wanted to immediately end their tenancy agreement. It's gone. We don't have any information about that. So immediately end their tenancy agreement. He added, "That's the strange thing. The girls didn't tell us anything about that. They never mentioned any such plan." So that is the strange thing. The girls didn't tell us. Even when my mother spoke to them on Saturday, they didn't mention it, that they had any plan to move out. The man leading the missing persons inquiry said he had a number of hypotheses and was remaining open-minded about what may have happened to them. So that's that interview we just watched. But he stressed there are no suspects. This is not a criminal inquiry. This is a missing persons inquiry. So again, what we know is that at the moment, CCTV provides they entered the footpath adjacent to the River Dee, and we have no trace of them leaving that footpath yet. Inquiries continue to see if we can extend that timeline further. We have carried out extensive inquiries in terms of the state of mind the sisters may have been in, the lifestyles movements contact with the friends and family. So that's where we are at the moment. As far as I know, I'm going to just check one more time. We'll check one more time. I don't think there's been any further news today so far. Let me just check. Can't see anything. Okay. Yeah. No other news so far, but of course, if I hear anything, hi Auntie, yes, there's one surviving triplet. Edith. Just having a little. So thank you for caring about these twins. Please, or triplets, I should say. Please light a candle, either virtually or really, for them, for their safe return. You know, we pray for their safe return. It doesn't feel likely, but nothing is beyond the realms of possibility. Prayer for their family. I will be back tonight for the members only live, which will be about 8 o'clock, I would think, Spanish time, possibly 8:30. And we're going to talk a few politics there. I've got so much news today, actually, because there is some news about Patrick Stevenson, Samantha Murphy's alleged murderer. I've got some news about that. Can't fit all the news in at the moment. But thank you for watching. Let's hope there is a happy resolution to this, but you know, it doesn't feel like that, but that doesn't mean to say it won't happen. We always have to have hope, don't we? So thank you. I'll see you really soon in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Very important. Subscribing is very important, and it's free, as is liking the video, which is also free. And if you want to watch the members only live tonight, why not become a member? Thank you. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.